Just took possession of an Eastman 534 B-flat tuba. I'm going to open it up and check it out as I get it out of the case. Oh, so basically an unboxing video. It's nice that Eastman puts real cases with latches instead of cloth cases with zippers. Oh, did I get all the latches off? I think I did. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Has a little packaging down the bell to keep it from getting wrinkled. Let's see if the bell survived the trip. Bell looks beautiful. Okay. All right. Take this thing out of the bag. Hold on, I'll put the phone down for a second. Beautiful tuba that looks like it survived the trip. Eastman engraving on the bell. Don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. Valves work perfect. Good looking horn. All right, let me put this thing on a stand and I'm going to do a play test. So a little information about the 534 tuba. Basically, it's a copy of the King 2341, and it almost seems insulting to call it a copy because I played the original prototype of the King 2341 when it was redesigned in the late 90s. I played it in the factory at Eastlake, Ohio. And it was a very good instrument. I thought, wow, this is going to change the game as far as B-flat tubas go, because it was a B-flat tuba that felt like any professional could play it. And then it came out. It was still pretty good when it first came out. And King Selmer's quality control has fallen so far. They're just not very good instruments anymore. They rattle. The valves stick. The lead pipe isn't connected to the valve section properly, so when you put any pressure on it, the first valve sticks. It's got a litany of problems. So, and I had played this horn when it first came out, and I thought it was a good quality copy. But Eastman has continued to raise their game year after year for quality control, and they made minor tweaks in this horn. I played one of these at the beginning of February, the beginning of this month, and at the Washington, D.C. Army Workshop Conference. And I thought it was great. I said, wow, this horn reminds me of the prototype. It was that good. And then the next week I went to TMEA, which is Texas Music Educators Association in San Antonio. And I played a different horn, same model. And it was just as amazing. And my wife was with me then. And she basically stood there and says, I think you need to buy that tuba. Because she could hear how good it was and how much fun I was having playing it. So, my friend Chuck Kerrigan, who works for Eastman, he said he'd send me one on kind of trial, and if I liked it, I'd buy it. So it just arrived today, and I'm super excited about this, but I also wanted to share the information about the instrument to use. So it came with a Lasky 30H mouthpiece, and when I've seen those mouthpieces before, they've kind of reminded me a little bit of a Con Helleberg mouthpiece. Flat rim, funnel-shaped bowl. I'm not sure exactly what the mouthpiece profile is, but anyway, so yeah, very flat rim, and I prefer a wider rim. So I might try this mouthpiece later, but for right now, for the test evaluation, I'm going to play my normal mouthpiece, which is a Selmansberger Symphony mouthpiece with a very wide rim, since that's what I'm used to. So these valves feel fantastic, light, but they've got a real good feel to them. I've been playing a lot of E-flat tuba this month, so I've got to get my B-flat face on real quick. So let's see how it sounds. Whether this horn has a 19 3/4 inch bell. It's again based on the York E-flat tuba, which I have one of those too. I might do a side-to-side picture here, but they were redesigned in the late 90s to go from a very tall horn with a removable bell to a larger 20-inch bell and a shorter instrument. Most people are familiar with this design as the King 2341, but personally I think the Eastman shouldn't be called a copy of that. It's more like an evolution, so because it is a much better instrument. the tuba isn't outblowing the microphone on my camera here. Doesn't have a fifth valve, so that second to lowest note is going to be a little bit sharp on any horn. Let's see what the first valve slide feels. I can pull it. It doesn't have a ton of pull to it, and it doesn't feel as limber as the a student of mine just bought a Eastman 832, which is basically a C tuba version of this body shape. And his first valve slide, it moves like a trombone slide. It's absolutely amazing. So you have a slide that works like that, and I might be able to get this slide to work better. If you have a slide that works like that, then you can compensate for not having a fifth valve by doing a long pull on the fingering 1, 2, 3, 4, which may actually get you a low C on this horn. Oh. What's unique about this horn, you just don't see it very often. It feels very nimble. It's easy to play, but it still has a big throaty B flat. I have an E flat tuba that I would describe as nimble. I have a C tuba, a medium small C tuba that I would describe as nimble. And I have a very, very large Kaiser B flat Cervini tuba that's a big B flat tuba, but it's not nimble at all. It feels like a tank. You just can't do much technical on it, but it has a marvelous sound. This, with the almost 20-inch bell, has the potential to hold down the biggest, Shostakovich or Wagner or anything like that you're playing, but it's also a very nimble horn that's easy to get around on. I played another nimble B-flat tuba a couple weeks ago called the Miraphone Hagen 484. That was a very good horn. I liked the horn, but it didn't have the big sound like this one does. So I bought this one to be kind of a do-everything horn. I played C tuba for 35 years, but I decided because I just bought a really nice E-flat tuba, I'd be better off being an E-flat and B-flat player than I would be an E-flat, C, and B-flat player. And I'm to the point where, I teach lessons. I've been teaching for 36 years. I teach lessons. Almost all my students are on B-flat tubas, so I'm not sure why I continue to fight the C battle when my students play C. I'm better off playing B-flat for them. But if I can get a professional quality B-flat, then that makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, it's a very good sound. You just have to take my word for it how responsive it is. It doesn't feel sluggish at all. For years and years and years, I described B-flat tubas as having a tubby feeling. This one doesn't feel tubby at all. It's very responsive. It sounds so good. Anyway, so very happy with this horn. Tuning seems really good. Tuning seems solid. I have to put it on a tuner later and make sure there's no bad notes, but I don't hear anything upon first playing. And I'll have to contact Chuck and tell him this horn's a real winner, and this one plays just as good as the horns they brought to the 2 conventions I went to this month. So if you're interested in the Eastman, I highly recommend it. I teach for a school that is about to buy 8 of these things as school instruments, and from what I can see, it's very well built, and it'll hold up, so nothing feels flimsy about it. It feels like a first-class instrument. So hope you enjoyed this, hope it helps, and bye for now.